Ashley Greer. I just got done with a beautiful afternoon of self-care, getting massage so that I know I'm on point for all of my clients and so that I am juiced up and feeling really embodied in my life and beautiful and lovely and lush so that I can bring all of that amazingness to my clients. But I want to talk to you today about how your plan B is actually your plan for failure. So let's get some really realness to this conversation here. So there's this story about, I believe it was Mark Anthony. No, was it Mark Anthony? And it might have been a Greek, no, it was a Greek commander in Sparta, actually. And, or was it Mark Anthony? Doesn't matter. It's beyond the point. There was this commander, right, in ancient times, in Egypt or Greece, and he was going into battle. Hey there, lovelies. He was going into battle and he was so overmanned, so overwhelmed. There were so many folks who were fighting on the other side. Like it was like 2-1, right? They were going to lose. He knew that they were going to lose. And so when they got there, when they landed their boats, what he did is he told his soldiers to burn the boats. He told them to burn the boats down that they came in. And he turned to them as the boats were burning and smoldering, and he said, now the only way you get to return home is to win. There is no retreat. You must move forward and you must win. And that is the only way you get to return home to your family. Pretty dramatic, but the point is that he removed plan B, and there's a happy ending to this story because guess what? They won this battle against all odds. It seemed impossible because he told his soldiers that there was no plan B. And this is the thing about plan Bs, about saying, well, I'm going to do this, except, unless this happens, and then I guess I'll do this. Or, if this doesn't work out, I guess I'll stick with what it is that feels kind of safe, or I could always go back to my old job, or I could always do this. You are basically setting yourself up a plan, a strategy for when you fail. And guess what happens when we consider, that belief is 90% of our reality? You believe you're going to fail. That's what the subconscious truth of that is when you set yourself up a plan B for, well, I'm not going to make this a decision until I have the money in the bank to support it, for example. This is something that recently I've been thinking about because I have a pretty big announcement to make soon that'll freak y'all out. But I'm not gonna make this decision until I have the money in the bank account in order to make it. Instead of I'm gonna make this decision, and that's going to create the money in my bank account, because the money in my bank account will be there to support what it is that I decide that I'm going to do. The problem with our decisions is that they're not truly decisions. What they are is that they are hedging our bets on something that we hope will happen, but that we're going to plan 15 other ways that we can get by just in case it doesn't work out. And so by planning all of these other ways that we can survive, that we can get by, or I can go back to teaching yoga, or I can go back to writing. I could, like if, I used to do freelance writing, for example. If I were saying here to you now saying, well, if my coaching doesn't work out, I'm going to go back and do some freelance writing. What would your confidence be like in my coaching? Probably not very good. You'd probably be like, well, why is she making plans for when her coaching doesn't work out? If her coaching's that kick-ass, then she would know it's going to be a success. She wouldn't need to plan for the inevitable potential failure with plan B. It sounds really contrary to what we're told in our society, which is always have a plan B, always be prepared for the worst. But this is actually the exact wrong philosophy, because that philosophy comes from a place of lack. That philosophy comes from a place of there's not enough, I won't be able to succeed, so I have to plan for the inevitable failures, lacking, for the inevitable falling down. I have to plan for all of the inevitable terrible crap that's going to happen because I do not have the degree of belief and trust in what it is that I truly want in order to actually decide that this is what I'm going to get. Instead, I'm going to back off of it and say, well, but if this happens, I'll get it if this happens. And then, if this happens. And if they all agree and you're coming up with all of these excuses and all of these reasons for why your true desire can't work, which means you haven't made a decision that desire is yours. What you've done is you've put a wish out there in the universe. And that's one of the problems with the way people teach the law of attraction is it's not about wishing. It's about making a firm decision that this is my reality and doing everything you need to do to make that happen. And until you make a decision, It will not happen, period. As long as you're waffling, as long as you're creating these plan Bs, as long as you're saying, like, well, if this happens, or, I could always, or whatever it might be, you are planning for your plan A to fail, and you are failing to make a decision that this is what you truly want, because you don't need a plan B when you know plan A is going to work, when you're going to do every damn thing in your power to make plan A work. And you're not going to do everything in your power to make plan A work if you are semi-invested in plan B, and that little safety comfort, that little comfortable net over there, I can always fall back on that. That looks kind of fun. I think I'm just going to fall over there because this is getting kind of hard. Don't plan for failure. Plan for your success. So what does that look like? Planning for your success means making a decision. It means making a decision that I'm going to succeed. I am going to make this money. I am going to sign these clients. I am going to take my coaching to the next level. I'm going to learn how to be a coach. I'm going to learn how to be a business badass. I'm going to hire a coach. I'm going to do whatever I need to do to make this happen, because this is the most important thing that I have ever experienced, that I have ever decided on, and I will have nothing less. Otherwise, you are just settling. You are giving the message to the universe that it's okay if you fail, and it's okay if you get second or third or fourth or 12th best, and that you will settle for it because you are not fully committed to having what it is that you desire. You are not fully committed to your dreams. You have not made a true decision. If you're not fully committed, you actually haven't made a decision. Ooh! And I realize some of this might be triggering y'all, but this is the thing. I'm not here to be your friend. I'm here to be like your champion, to stand up and say, you can do better. You can stick your neck out and make a choice that will benefit you, or you can shrink back and you can do what it is that's comfortable in the status quo, and you can follow, the line of reasoning that you followed your entire life and think that things, maybe they'll change. I hope they'll change. Well, that old saying, hope in one hand and poop in the other, and see which one's going to fill up more. But make a decision about what you're going to have in this hand, and things will be entirely different. I guarantee it. So make those decisions. See how this totally radically shifts your commitment to what it is you're creating. And notice all of the fears that come up, and all of the worries, and all of the doubts, and all of the old scripts that tell you, I can't. You can't do that. You can't do that. That's impossible. Notice them all come up, and then release them. Because those worries are actually just on team plan B, and you need to shut plan B up. You need to kick it out of the stadium. You need to do it the old Bootaroony, because it's not working for you, girl. It's not working for you anymore. Plan B, this is very strong language, but plan Bs are for losers. And I don't think any of you guys are losers if you're watching me. I know you're winners. And so what is your plan A? And what is it that you really want? Let's go create it. I have a very, very limited number of spots left in my one-on-one work and my one-on-one coaching practice before I am closing it, before I am totally full and cannot take any more clients for several months, if potentially until the end of the year, until next year, until 2018. And so I want you to think long and hard and think of having somebody on your team who will not let you play small any longer, who sees you in all of your greatness and can help you work out all the strategy to succeed in your business, can help you move through the mindset that will take you to the next level, because it truly takes thinking a different way to create things that you've never had. I love you. If you're interested, shoot me a PM, or I'll put the link in the comments for you to schedule a chat with me to see what we can discover. I love you. Go kick butt. Discover what it is your plan A is and fully commit to it. Watch your